Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. It's Paulo P13 here, and what I'm doing right now is I'm actually in Mr. Free to Play MSF stream. I'm going to ambush him, and I'm going to ask him some hard questions and say he has a 60-second time limit. I phrase it as a bit of a challenge, and that is just so he's like, I don't know, got a little excitement in it, I guess, but these are hard questions, and I think the answers he gives are going to be very helpful for you guys all to apply to your own gaming, and maybe you can learn some lessons from it. Anyways, let's get into it. Hello.
Yep, they can hear you. Yep.
I've got a bit of a challenge for you. It's not super challenging, but I'm going to ask you 5 different questions, and your goal is to answer these questions in under 60 seconds.
All 5 in under 60.
Well, not all 5. Each question you can take us up to 60 seconds.
Gizmo says I should answer C for all of them.
I don't think any of those would be right answers, but to be fair, these answers are only right for you because they're all about your experience in the game to a degree.
All right, cool. All right.
First and foremost, you've been doing DD4 lately. What is the biggest mistake you made when prepping for it?
Ooh, biggest mistake I did for prepping for it. That's a tough question because like when I prepped for it, I went ahead and I researched all the orange gear to figure out how much I needed of everything compared to my inventory. I mean, I've had to make a lot of adjustments, but a lot of the adjustments that I made was because newer characters came out, and I'd rather build some of the newer characters because of their uniques. I think the biggest mistake was actually I actually penciled Nick Fury in because he was 7 red stars, and on the fact that he was 7 red stars only. And then I had to backtrack when I realized that that wasn't going to be resource efficient or doom rate efficient. So I think that was probably my biggest mistake, was penciling a character just because they were 7 red.
All right. That's a common one, but definitely important thing for people to note. Don't just do it because someone has 7 red stars, but make sure they kind of have a purpose. Very good. All right, here's a tough one, because this is kind of like a few of the questions here are like admitting okay, just analyzing what you got and seeing if you could have done things better to really help people spend more efficiently than we even did. But what is a character in this game that you thought wasn't going to be great, but they surprised you? You were wrong about this character.
Ooh. Hold on, let me go down my roster real quick. I'm pretty sure there's someone in the rabbit hole that I probably did. I probably passed up one and then eventually came around to. Let's see. Who was that for me? I think there's 2 that could fall in this category. And it wasn't because they weren't good, it's because I just didn't have a purpose for them. Sinister was one. I wish I would have built him up a lot sooner than what I had. At the time, looking at data, he wasn't useful, but he probably was useful, just not a lot of people had that data on him, and that's what I look at when I look at what I'm doing. So he's probably one I do regret not building him sooner. Baron Zemo, I dragged my feet on. He's very good for PvE content. He's player versus player is a little squishy, so he can be targeted out pretty easily, at least at my current power level of him. That might change with more stars, but and then the other character that I would really recommend that I still don't have built up to date is Invisible Woman, a very useful character, and a plug and play character at that.
All right. Good. All good answers. I remember the Mr. Sinister one very well, as I think you built it up after the roster review I did for you back in the day.
You're probably right. If I go back and look, you're probably 100% correct.
What in this game is a small thing that doesn't affect the grand scheme of the game, but drives you nuts? What is something in this game that doesn't really affect the game like on a grand scale, just like a small detail or small kit thing that just drives you nuts?
So a small kit thing that drives me nuts. The dodge mechanic really drives me nuts. Yeah, I think the dodge mechanic, and then also sometimes seeing characters that you know aren't good, and like take like the Ultimus node and Ultimus, like the very last one. Like some of those characters we all know are just flat out trash, but yet seeing your characters that you have spent so much investment in being one-shotted by like Karath, I wish they were the same of the experience that we experience with our characters and not overly buffed. I'd rather them put together a more complex challenge rather than just boosting stats, but that's just me.
That's actually a great answer. That's better than my personal answer. Mine is just I hate the fact that Winter Soldier and Captain America have different speeds. That just drives me nuts. But that's a very good one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right, I've got 2 more questions for you. Is that all right with you?
Yeah.
All right. What is the character that most disappointed you in the game? Like when you heard they were coming, you were super excited. Then you saw what they did with them, and it's just like, oh man, what the heck?
Can I say Polaris? Let me see, because I don't really invest in characters unless I plan on building them or they've been proven to be useful. So let me scroll to the bottom of my roster here. Let's see. Character that I really like there, just nothing. Domino. Domino's a big one. I got super hyped for Domino, and I feel like she was a big letdown. That's definitely one I vividly remember last year. Let's see. Iron Man. Oh God, I wish he was better. Yeah, those have to be my 2. On bottom of my roster, there's like I remember, like I was super excited when they announced Domino, and then she's basically just smoke and mirrors for Deadpool, kind of.
I have to agree, man. Domino,
yeah.
The person whose power is lucky has to be the least lucky character in the game. Nothing goes right.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the hardest one for you.
Okay.
What's the worst advice that you have given people about this game?
Ooh, worst advice I've given. That's a tough one. I mean, I've definitely made mistakes. I can't say they've been few and in between, but I definitely have made mistakes in the past. Oh, oof. Trying to rack my brain here. That's tough because sometimes I think the biggest mistake I make is not being able to fully explain like the grand scheme of what my plan is. Like when I do resource management, and I get people that kind of disagree with it, which is fair. I understand people will disagree, but sometimes I feel like I didn't do a good enough job explaining what it is, that is not about the best character that's OP and knocks other people out, right? It's about efficiency building. So I feel like that's part of it. And then also people that don't understand it. And whoa, sorry, that was loud. Dan Steak, thanks for the follow. But also so someone who takes my advice, right? And I have to give a top 20 resource management, right? They're not the super most powerful characters, but they may take that as if I build the top 5, I can run roughshod through arena. So if I don't do a good enough job explaining what it is that the message I'm trying to get across, then that person just got bad advice because they misinterpreted what I'm trying to say or do. But I really wish I could give you a more specific thing that I've done in the past, but I just right now I can't come up with anything. But I know that's my personal feelings that I have, like just reading comments today.
These are hard questions. It's hard. The reason I did this is, well, first off, it's good information, and I do think it's going to help people just to be able to actually reflect on what you've done and what you've said. I think is a very underrated skill in Marvel Strike Force, even because I know I have made many plans and many ideas that I just held on to very hard, and in the end, it cost me more resources than if I just started something and said, okay, this is a bad idea, and then reevaluate it. So just testing on people's ability to look back, having you do it as like kind of like a fill-in for the audience. That was my thought. So thank you a ton for letting me do this with you while you are live. Everyone in the chat, make sure you hit that follow button right here, unless you've already hit it, just the one time and such.
Thanks, Paul. That's pretty neat. You caught me off guard, and I really had to think. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Thanks, man.
All right, thanks, man. I'll get back to watching your stream. Have a good one.
I'll talk to you later.
All right, I just wanted to say thank you again to Mr. Free to Play for being down for such a spur of the moment, kind of forced collab in a way. But make sure you guys go check out his channel. You got to go subscribe to him on YouTube, and you got to go follow him on Twitch, and make sure you support the guy. Great guy to work with, gives great advice, and a bit of this test was seeing like how self-aware someone is and what's going on. So I kind of wanted to test that, and I hope you guys learned a lot, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, you can hit the subscribe button here too if you want. You can also go check out my Twitch, which is MSF Paulo P13 over on Twitch. There will be links down in the video description to support me. There'll be his links in the video description and all that stuff. Yeah, I hope you guys are having a good day. I hope this was helpful. Hope you enjoyed it. And as always, I'm here to help.